Thanks very much for that introduction, and thanks also to all of the organisers and all involved for this event tonight. So I'm here to talk to you from Young Humanists, which is a part of Humanists UK, about the humanist stance in relation to the themes for tonight, which are broadly going to be the environment, faith and belief, and how we can be best placed to make a positive change. So maybe a bit about humanism just to start off with. I only have a few minutes, but we're welcome to expand on some of these ideas in the discussion later. So humanism is a worldview, is a belief system. It's not a faith as such. If we define faith as requiring belief in something without evidence, humanism is very much about evidence, and it's about the scientific understanding of the world. And it also places quite a lot of importance on human morality and human authority as well, as being the best guides to teach us and to guide us as our species and our civilization tries to explore its future. And the youth aspect of it is quite interesting as well, because humanists are mostly atheists and agnostics. And if we look at the latest British Social Attitude Survey in the UK, around 53% of people identify as not having any faith or structured religious faith relevant to their day-to-day lives. And that number is a bit increased, around 70% for under 30s. So we at Humanists UK really do try and see that as an opportunity to both educate people about what humanism is and see if they might find an ideology and a belief system that would suit them within that. So that's a bit about humanism. So now the environment, what do we mean by, I'm sure we'll have lots of ideas that will come along later in the discussion, but it's essentially the environment around us, the space around us. We're part of our environment as well, and obviously humans aren't naive or neutral actors. We change our environment, but it's our biophysical, ecological surroundings that gives us nutrition, that gives us psychological support as well. We've seen during the pandemic how important it's been if you are lacking green spaces and direct contact with the environment, even to be able to see green spaces outside of your window rather than a brick wall. So in many ways, our environment supports us. And I guess the title of my remarks, I put in the cosmic responsibility and the cosmic opportunity of our environment, because that kind of fits in with the humanist belief of how, and what science tells us is how unique Earth is and how humans are part of the natural world. And being part of a natural world, we see amongst us our cousins, our brothers, essentially, and sisters on the family tree and the tree of life more generally. We have a responsibility as sentient, conscious, and highly evolved beings to provide for not only ourselves, but humanists would also say to other flora and fauna in the world, plants and animals and so on, because they're also life forms. They may not be conscious as far as we know, many of them, but we still have that responsibility. And if that ties in with some sort of very traditional indigenous attitude as well that you may be also aware of in some parts of the world, that talk about the rights of Mother Earth and of Earth and the natural world itself being a being that needs sort of a Gaia kind of concept that needs rights. And humanism is right there alongside that as a modern holistic worldview that incorporates all of these very traditional and conservative ideas that unfortunately maybe our economic system currently isn't reflecting very much as we destroy our environments. So what are humanists doing about this, and how do they enact this belief that they have? How do they make a positive change in the world? So Humanist Climate Action, which I'd encourage you to search online, a project of Humanists UK that young humanists are also trying to support. Humanist Climate Action has launched recently, which focuses particularly on the climate, but that's part of the larger environmental debate there, to encourage campaigning and raising awareness about how carbon neutral and greenhouse effect reducing lifestyles are incredibly important and vital for, especially for the younger generations. We see with Greta Thunberg spearheading that, and others who are below 30, below 25, because ultimately it's going to be our future, whereas the older generations, maybe for them, unfortunately, it's, even though it's sorry to say this, but may not be at the top of their list of priorities. So I hope this has given you a very brief sketch about what humanism is, why the understanding of our solar system and our planet as being a unique kind of spaceship of Earth with its own life support systems, with its very unique Goldilocks kind of atmosphere. It gives us responsibility and an awareness of that, of our place in the universe, gives us that responsibility to be good humanists and to be good conservationists as well. Thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to the rest of the panelists' views and also the participants. Thank you.